So today we're jumping into this really cool philosophical parable. It's a story that takes the whole Faustian bargain you think you know and just flips it completely on its head. We're going to be talking about choice, what struggle really means, and, how we even figure out who we are in this huge, complicated universe.
All right, let's get right into it. The entire story really boils down to this one simple but, well, not so simple question. Sun or candle? Think about it for a second. Do you go for the dangerous, difficult, blazing sun? Or do you play it safe with the pleasant, comfortable flicker of a candle?
And this isn't just some hypothetical question. It's actually a cosmic bet that drives this whole story forward. See, there's this tempter character, and he's basically betting against all of humanity. He's absolutely convinced that when push comes to shove, we'll always choose the safe, cozy candle over the glorious, terrifying sun.
Okay, so let's set the scene. The year is 1492. Picture this, a high, lonely spire way up in the Alps. And there, standing on the edge of everything, is our main character, the Wanderer. He's staring down into the abyss, facing a choice that's going to decide, well, pretty much the fate of his soul.
So what's he so afraid of up there? Well, it's not death. No. It's something he thinks is way, way worse. It's the fear of becoming what the story calls the last man. And what is that? It's this hollowed-out person, just completely exhausted by life, who's only defined by the challenges he refuses to face. He's terrified of becoming someone who just gives up the climb.
And just as he's having this existential crisis, who shows up? Of course, it's the tempter, Mephistopheles himself, looking sharp in Venetian velvet and holding this glinting silver key. He's the one who lays it all out, this ancient cynical bet that the human spirit deep down is just weak. It's too weak for the struggle.
But here's the thing about our Wanderer. He isn't just your average guy. He's driven by this incredibly powerful philosophy, this core belief about what it really means to be human, and it flies right in the face of that pessimistic bet.
So what's his big idea? It's this concept of the I versus the not I. Basically, he believes that your identity, your I, your ego, can only exist when it's pushing against something else, an obstacle, the not I. If you take away that resistance, take away the struggle, poof, the self just dissolves. It becomes nothing. And for the Wanderer, this isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. Man, this is his whole reason for being. Struggle isn't something to run away from. For him, it's the point. It's his mission, his calling. It's what he believes he's here to do.
So Mephistopheles hears all this and just smiles, He's got the perfect counteroffer, the ultimate sales pitch. Why go through all that pain? Why bleed on the rocks when you could just take a shortcut to the top? He offers a way to get perfection without any of the struggle.
And what is this shortcut? It's called the Gnostic Engine, a miracle machine that promises you, well, basically everything. The power of an overman, an end to all that messy climbing and chaos. All you have to do is trade in one little thing, your struggling independence, your will. No big deal, right?
Okay, so get ready for the twist. Because after all that passionate talk about how striving is his vocation, the Wanderer says, I accept. He takes the silver key. He actually takes the deal. It seems like he's just thrown his entire philosophy right out the window.
And Mephistopheles? Oh, he is loving this. He thinks he's won. The trap worked perfectly. The Wanderer chose the candle just like he knew he would. In his eyes, this new god is just a fake, a philosophical lie who arrived at the destination without ever actually taking the journey.
But this is where the story gets really good, because the transformation, this ascension to godhood, it doesn't go the way Mephistopheles planned at all. It doesn't bring peace or apathy. It brings something entirely unexpected.
So the Wanderer is now this new man, this god. And what's the very first thing he feels? Not power, not peace. It's this deep, aching hollowness. And he gets it instantly. His I, his very sense of self has nothing to fight against anymore. And without that fight, it's just empty.
You can see right here how the whole plan just backfired, spectacularly. Step 1, Mephistopheles expected the key would lead to apathy, but instead it led to a shocking new awareness. Step 2, he thought that feeling of hollowness would cause despair, but nope, it lit a fire, a new, violent ambition. And step 3, surrender?
No way! The new man decides he's going to conquer the engine itself.
This is the moment everything flips. The new man looks at this whole situation and completely redefines it. He basically says, you gave me this machine to get rid of my obstacles, but I see now that the machine is the ultimate obstacle. The shortcut itself just became the new mountain. Think about that for a second. He's not surrendering his will to the engine. He's forcing the engine to surrender to him. He's not becoming its puppet. He's seizing the strings and turning this incredible machine into a prosthetic amplifier for his own authentic drive.
So now we get to the climax. He's not just rejecting the deal anymore, he's hacking it. He is fundamentally rewriting the entire contract from the ground up.
He declares himself the Fichtean Absolute. And what does that mean? Well, he's created a new synthesis. He has fused his old philosophy, that will to strive, with the new, godlike power he was just given. He is now the ultimate I, confronting the ultimate not I.
I mean, it's just brilliant, right? He didn't play the game and win or lose. He completely broke the game itself. He found a loophole in a Faustian bargain and exploited it perfectly, on his own terms.
Remember the price of the deal? It was supposed to be denial, giving up his core nature. Instead, he says, no, I'll pay you, but I'm paying with affirmation. He's using this new God power to double down on who he is, to amplify his will to strive on a cosmic scale he never could have imagined before.
So you can see the two roads in front of him here. The tragic path, the one he was supposed to take, was to become this architect of apathy, trapping everyone in a cage of contentment just to soothe his own hollow soul. He rejects that completely. Instead of safety, he chooses to bring acceleration. He chooses to unleash dangerous freedom.
And that brings us to his final, triumphant declaration. It's a statement of absolute victory. He hasn't just reached the destination, he has successfully carried the journey into the destination itself. He is forever striving, ever upward. Excelsior.
And all this really leaves us with a pretty heavy question, doesn't it? Especially for our own time, as our tools and our tech get more and more powerful, promising to smooth over every difficulty. Are we risking the very resistance that defines us? Or, like the Wanderer, can we learn to see these powerful new solutions not as an end to the climb, but as the base camp for a much, much higher one?